A devout woman knelt, hands clasped, eyes closed in fervent prayer. Sunlight streamed through the window, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. She yearned to meet God, to feel His presence in her life. Each day, her prayers grew more passionate, more desperate. One night, a dream shimmered into being, filled with golden light. A voice echoed, deep and resonant. "Your devotion is seen." God appeared, a figure of radiant energy, smiling gently at her. "I will visit you tomorrow," He promised, His voice like a warm breeze. The woman awoke with a gasp, her heart pounding with excitement. God was coming. Her dream was real. She leaped from her bed. The entire morning was dedicated to preparing for this divine encounter. First, she meticulously cleaned her small house, scrubbing every surface, dusting, polishing, sweeping. No speck of dirt could remain. Next, she rearranged the furniture, creating a festive atmosphere. The worn sofa was plumped, the faded curtains straightened with care. Flowers from her garden were arranged in a vase, their colors vibrant. Finally, she spent hours cooking a delicious feast, fit for a deity. Fragrant spices filled the air, a symphony of culinary delight. Roasted vegetables, savory meats, sweet pastries, a banquet of love. Her heart was filled with anticipation and excitement, a joyful flutter. Every action was driven by the desire to offer God the warmest welcome. She envisioned a profound and enlightening meeting, a moment of grace. She would express her devotion, pouring out her heart in gratitude. She longed to receive divine wisdom, guidance for her life's journey. She imagined God's gentle smile, His comforting words of reassurance. The sun climbed higher, casting long shadows across the room. She checked the table one last time, ensuring everything was perfect. The aroma of the feast wafted through the air, a tempting invitation. She smoothed her simple dress, a nervous flutter in her stomach. She sat by the window, watching the road, her eyes scanning the horizon. Every passing shadow made her heart leap with expectation. She whispered prayers of welcome, her voice filled with hope. The hours ticked by, each one feeling like an eternity. The sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange. A sense of unease crept into her heart, a shadow of doubt. Had she misunderstood? Was the dream just a figment of her imagination? No, she refused to believe it. God would come. She had to believe. She continued to wait, her gaze fixed on the empty road. The first stars began to appear, twinkling in the darkening sky. She lit candles, their flickering flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. The house was filled with a soft, warm glow, a beacon of hope. She prayed again, her voice trembling slightly. "Please, God, come." The wind rustled through the trees, whispering secrets in the night. She closed her eyes, picturing God's face, His radiant smile. She imagined His gentle touch, His comforting embrace. She opened her eyes, her heart filled with renewed determination. She would wait, even if it took all night. Her faith would not waver. The moon rose high in the sky, bathing the world in its silvery light. She continued her vigil, a solitary figure in the quiet house. Her devotion was unwavering, her hope unyielding, her spirit strong. She knew, deep in her heart, that God would not abandon her. He would come, in His own time, in His own way. She just had to be patient, to trust in His divine plan. The night deepened, the world grew still, and she waited. Her faith was a burning flame, a light in the darkness. She would not be disappointed. She would not lose hope. God was coming. She knew it. She felt it in her soul. And she would be ready, ready to welcome him with open arms. Her heart overflowed with love, a testament to her unwavering devotion. She waited patiently for the God who had promised to come. The woman, still excited, puts the finishing touches on the table setting. A knock on the door interrupts her thoughts. She smooths her dress and rushes to answer it, expecting God. A salesman stands there, a briefcase in hand, smiling widely. "Good morning, madam. I have a product that will change your life." The woman frowns, her anticipation turning to annoyance. "I'm expecting a very important guest. I don't have time for this." The salesman sighs, adjusts his tie, and walks to the next house. The woman returns to her preparations, a bit flustered. She checks the roast in the oven, its aroma filling the house. Another knock, this time lighter and more hesitant. She opens the door to see a small child from next door. The child clutches a torn teddy bear, looking lost and sad. "My mommy isn't home, and I'm scared," the child whimpers softly. The woman sighs, her patience wearing thin. "I'm very busy right now. Go home. Your mother will be back soon." She closes the door gently but firmly, turning the child away. The child's lower lip trembles as she walks back to her house. The woman glances at the clock, growing increasingly anxious. Hours pass, and the sun begins to set, casting long shadows. The elaborate meal sits untouched on the table, growing cold. The woman sits alone, her face etched with disappointment. Where is God? Why hasn't he come as promised? Tears well up in her eyes as she questions her faith. She falls asleep in her chair, exhausted and disheartened. In her dream, a radiant figure appears, but it's not as expected. God's voice echoes, gentle yet filled with profound meaning. "I came to you today, not in glory, but in need." The dream shifts, showing the salesman at her door. "I offered you an opportunity to practice kindness and patience." The scene changes to the child with the torn teddy bear. "I presented myself as innocence and vulnerability, seeking comfort." The woman sees herself turning them both away, filled with regret. God's voice continues, filled with gentle sadness. "You were so focused on the extraordinary that you missed the opportunity to meet me. I am present in all beings, in every moment, in every need." The dream fades, leaving the woman in stunned silence. She wakes up with a start, the dream vivid in her mind. The untouched feast seems to mock her misplaced expectations. She understands now, the truth piercing her heart. God had come, not in a blaze of glory, but in humble disguise. She had been so blinded by her preconceived notions. She missed the divine in the mundane, the sacred in the simple. Tears streamed down her face, but this time, they are tears of realization. She rushes outside, hoping to find the salesman or the child. They are gone, leaving only the echo of her missed opportunity. She vows to be more open, more compassionate, more aware, to see God in every face, in every encounter, in every need. The rising sun paints the sky with hues of forgiveness. She will not repeat her mistake. The lesson is learned. She walks towards her neighbor's house, seeking the child. She carries a small gift, a token of her changed heart. The door opens, and the child smiles, recognizing her. The woman kneels, offering the gift with genuine warmth. "I'm so sorry I wasn't kind earlier," she says sincerely. The child accepts the gift, her eyes filled with innocent trust. The woman understands that every act of kindness matters. God is in the giving, in the receiving, in the connection. Her journey to find God has just truly begun.